wanted to give you a little bit of a tour of the Coop DeMille. We finally got it relatively completed, and which is a good thing because this has been, what, about 4 weeks, I guess, in construction. Watch out, little girls. So I thought I'd just kind of go through and highlight the features of the coop and the run and of the yard, and I'm doing that with the help of these ladies right here. This is the beginning of our second year in raising chickens. The first year taught us a lot. We had a temporary structure in which we housed the chicken run to keep it secure from any predators and such. And then we had a tiny little coop inside that we bought with the idea that, you know, it might become more of the permanent part of what we're doing. But our 5 hens quickly outgrew it, and then we got 3 more hens. These ones right here. Bringing us to a grand total of 8. So we thought we might need something a little bit larger. And to facilitate the work that goes into raising chickens and harvesting eggs and doing those kinds of things, a lot of design thought went into the building of the new coop. In trying to make things just a little bit easier for us and for the chickens as we continue on into this little venture of ours. So to begin with, we wanted something that we could certainly completely enclose as far as keeping this predator proof. And so the run itself has been made, as you can see as I circle around here, to frame out with this hardware wire. And the hardware wire itself layers down into the ground to keep any burrowing animals from coming into the coop. So they're very well protected inside the run part of this. I built a traditional roof for the coop itself to handle the amount of snow if we get anything like we had last winter on top of this, and any kind of runoff and rain and such that way. Eventually we're going to do a rain capture system on this, so we have a secondary source of water for the hens and have an automatic watering system in here. Currently we have automatic feeders that we've set up. Mindy built these out of PVC pipe, and we just fill them about maybe once a week. Another feature here inside, or on the coop itself, is this automatic door that we put in that will open and close depending on the time of day. We can set it that way, or to open and close depicting light, whether it gets dark or light. And we can see Chicken Little here. So the door is controlled by a little module, a little solar module that sits on top of the chicken coop that gathers and stores energy to control it. And then it's also a place where we can program when to open and when to close. I built a barn door that rolls on a track here to open it up without encroaching on any other space. And then we created a workflow that goes well from the barn door itself over to the chicken equipment shed here. That just makes it easy to haul stuff in and out. So inside the coop are the perches that I was talking about here, and they're staggered apart from each other because chickens just really don't care where they poop, and this way they don't poop on top of each other. And for ease of egg gathering, I created these carrels back here, these egg nesting boxes, just below the window. So when we open up that window, we can go through and easily harvest them. And I've noticed coming in this morning that there are a number of eggs here waiting for us to pick up. And then to finish things off, I built a new retaining fence here. It's 6 feet. It's 4 feet as far as the hardware cloth is concerned, but it creates the illusion of being a taller fence without having to fill all that in with the hardware cloth. And then I built traditional gates for the fence itself, another one for access to the run. And then I built a larger see-through one here with hardware cloth, so as we come into the chicken yard area, we'd be able to see what's going on, and the chickens can see what's going on outside the yard that way as well. Why 5 chickens all lay in the same nesting box is a mystery to me. They're always just kind of on top of each other. I mean, there's plenty of room in here for them to lay, but they all seem to lay in the same box. And they did that when we had the other smaller chicken coop as well. They all laid in the same spot. So one finishing touch was putting a gutter on the coop part of the run to keep water from going into the egg gathering door. It was doing that right after I finished building it, so we put a gutter up in there. And then we're going to do a rainwater collection system there. One last feature here to talk about is the ventilation system that I built into the coop. And the idea was kind of based off of tower cooling in a way, and maybe this isn't high enough to really induce that kind of dynamic, but the concept was to pull cooler air from closer to the ground that pulls up underneath the chicken nesting boxes, and then as that air warms up, it will go out then the top vents of the west end of the coop and create an airflow that way. Having those in and then having the chickens in with all the nesting materials and things, it still got a little smelly in there. So Mindy asked me to put in one more window on the south side of the coop. So now we have cross ventilation happening across the coop, and then we have the other ventilation that goes from top or from bottom to top here in the summertime, and hoping that will go through and keep things well ventilated and cooled down as well. We've kept the little coop in here as kind of a refuge for the little ones because they kind of get put down the pecking order a bit by the larger adult hens that we have. So we use this for the first 2 or 3 nights to go through and house them in, but now they've been fully integrated into the coop itself. So we're going to take this out and create some more room. So I hope this has been informative for you and maybe hopefully a little inspiring for you to maybe get into this as well. Certainly with the price of eggs, it's not a bad idea to get into it. I can't say that now because of the price of the coop. Certainly would contribute to the price of our eggs as it goes, but I have to go through and say, well, it's a wash, no big deal. It sure pales in comparison to having these chickens and raising them and watching their lifespan and to benefit from the eggs that they're laying, and they're extraordinary. They're very good. If you've never had a farm fresh egg, come on by. I'll give you a dozen, and you can see for yourself how that works out. We love them. I never thought that there would be that much of a difference between what we're finding in the grocery store and what we're finding here in the nesting boxes, but the difference is well worth the time and effort, for us at least, to go through and do this, and for us to become a little bit more self-sufficient too. So if you like what you see here on the Bountiful Farmhouse, give us a click and a like, and subscribe if you have yet to do so, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for watching.